नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 4, Text number 28. Rajo Vacha Nidanam Upagateshu Vrsni Bhojeshu Nidanam Upagateshu Vrsni Bhojeshu Adhirata Yutapa Yutapeshu Mukyaha Adhirata yutapeshu mukyaha saha tu katam avashishta uddavaha yad satu katam avashishta uddavo yad satu katam avashishta uddavo yad harihi api tatyaje akritim triyadishaha harirapi tatyaja akritim triyadishaha harirapi tatyaja akritim triyadishaha rajo vacha Nidanam upakateshu vishnivojeshu Adhirata yutapeshu mukyaha Satu katam avashishta uddavo yat Harirapi tatyaja akritim triyadishaha Rajo vacha Nidanam upakateshu vishnivojeshu Adhirata yutapeshu mukyaha Satu katam avashishta uddavo yad Harirapi tatyaja akritim triyadishaha Rajo Vacha. The king inquired, Nidanam, destruction, Upagateshu, having overtaken Vrsni of the Vrsni dynasty, Bhojeshu, the Bhoja dynasty, Adhirata, great commander, Yutapa, commander-in-chief, Yutapeshu, among them, Mukyaha, prominent, Saha, he, to, only, Katam, how, Avashishtaha, remained, Uddava, Yat, whereas, Harihi, the personality of Godhead, Api, also, Tatyaje, finished, Akritim, complete pastimes. Triyadishaha, the Lord of the three worlds. Translation and purport by Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. The king inquired at the end of the pastimes of the Lord of the three worlds, Sri Krishna, and after the disappearance of the members of the Vrsni and Bhoja dynasties, who were the best of the great commanders, why did Uddhava alone remain? Please repeat the translation. The king inquired at the end of the pastimes of the Lord of the three worlds, Sri Krishna, and after the disappearance of the members of the Vrsni and Bhoja dynasties, who were the best of the great commanders, why did Uddhava alone remain? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. According to Sri Jiva Goswami, Nidanam means the transcendental abode of the Lord. Ni means the highest and Dhanam means opulence. And because the abode of the Lord is the highest manifestation of transcendental opulence, his abode can therefore be called Nidanam. Apart from the grammatical elucidation, the real purpose of the word Nidanam is to indicate that all the members of Vrsni and Bhoja dynasties were direct associates of the Lord, and after the end of his pastimes, all the associates were dispatched to their respective positions in the transcendental abode. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura elucidates the meaning of Akritim as pastimes. A means complete and Kritim means transcendental pastimes. Since the Lord is identical with his transcendental body, there is no question of his changing or quitting his body. To act in accordance with the rules and customs of the material world, the Lord seems to take his birth or leave his body, but the pure devotees of the Lord know well the actual fact. It is necessary, therefore, for the serious students of Srimad Bhagavatam to follow the notes and comments of the great acharyas like Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura. To others who are not devotees of the Lord, the comments and explanations of such acharyas may appear to be grammatical jugglery. But to the students who are in the line of disciplic succession, the explanations of the great acharyas are quite fit. The word Upakateshu is also significant. All the members of Vrsni and Bhoja directly reach the abode of the Lord. Other devotees do not reach the abode of the Lord directly. But the pure associates of the Lord have no attraction for the opulence of any planets of the material world. Sometimes due to inquisitiveness, devotees who are to be promoted to the abode of the Lord have some attraction for the opulence of the higher planets above the earth, and thus they desire to see them while going up to the perfection. But the Vrishnis and Bhojas were directly dispatched because they had no attraction for material planets. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura also suggests that according to the Amarakosha dictionary, Akriti also means signal. Lord Krishna ordered Uddhava by signal to go to Badrika Ashrama after his departure, and Uddhava, as a pure devotee of the Lord, carried out the order more faithfully than going back to Godhead or the abode of the Lord. That was the cause of his remaining alone even after the departure of the Lord from the face of the earth. Presents the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So here Parikshit Maharaj is inquiring from Shukadeva Goswami. Raja Uvacha Nidanam Upakateshu Vrishni Bhojeshu. Nidanam, that word is elaborated in the purport, is the abode of the Lord. So Upakateshu means they have gone. Who? Vrishni and Bhojaha. And who are these people? Adhirataha. They are all great warriors. Yutapa Yutapeshu. And they are all great commander-in-chiefs. They are the best of the commanders in the Vrishni and Bhoja dynasty. Mukyaha. Mukyaha means main people. Satu katam avashishta Uddhavo yat. When everybody went away, why did Uddhava was remained alone? Harirapi tatyaja akritim trayadishaha. Lord, who had also finished his pastimes and who is the master of the three worlds, and when Lord himself has completed his pastimes, why was Uddhava remaining alone in this world? This was the question put forward by Parikshit Maharaj to Shukdev Goswami. So it says, the king inquired, at the end of the pastimes of the Lord of the three worlds, Harirapi Tatyaja Akritim Triyadishaha, and after the disappearance of the members of the Vrsni and Bhoja dynasties, Vrsni Bhojeshu Nidhanam Upagateshu, who were best of the great commanders, Adhirata Yutapa Yutapeshu Mukyaha, why did Uddhava alone remain? Satukatam avasista Uddhavoyat. So, how do we understand all these perspectives? Because elaborately in the purport, Prabhupada is explaining each word has multiple meanings. Nidhanam means to finish, and Nidhanam means spiritual abode also. So, which word will suit where? The exact meaning. So, Prabhupada is explaining in multi-dimension you can understand each verse. In a positive way you can understand, in a negative way also you can understand. The whole important point in that purport is to act in accordance with the rules and customs of the material world. The Lord seems to take birth or leave his body, but the pure devotees of the Lord knew very well the actual fact. Because the whole aspect is the Lord is there in this world also, but his perception is very limited. Only those who are very advanced can perceive the Lord. So it is therefore necessary for the serious students of Srimad Bhagavatam to follow the notes and comments of great acharyas like Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So if you have to understand what was the actual intention that is being discussed between great people, we require elaborate understanding of Vaishnava acharyas. Then only we will be able to know what actually was their intention in their communication. Like one point, Akriti also means signal. Lord Krishna ordered Uddhava by signal to go to Badrika Ashrama after his departure, and Uddhava as a pure devotee of the Lord carried out the order more faithfully than going back to Godhead. So Lord had a specific intention. In one of the earlier verses we understood what was the intention of the Lord. He wanted Uddhava to remain here. He wanted the intricate pastimes to be elaborated to the sages of Badrika Ashrama, who were all waiting because of not able to have proper clarification. Like one of the aspects we see, when Krishna was there in the last moment, there was a hunter who had come and he had shot an arrow. Where did that arrow hit the Lord? Which part of the body? One toe. And Lord, using that as an excuse, finished his pastimes in this world and went away back home, back to God. That's what we read in Bhagavatam. Or when we are walking 100 times, we have hit our feet to somewhere and we have broken and we have blood was coming. Did we die just by losing a foot, a toe? Then how do we understand this? So this is a reason. So there is something, information beyond which we can't understand in a limited perspective. That's why Uddhava was taught all the specific knowledge, so that he goes and clarifies to all the sages who have been waiting or anticipating the Lord to visit them. Because Lord gave audience to everyone when he was doing his pastimes. To bring Sandipani Muni's son, he went to Yamaloka, he gave audience. When Nanda Maharaj was captured by Varuna, he went to Varuna, he gave audience there. For the purpose of Satyabhama, he went to Indraloka, he gave audience there. So when Brahma wanted to test, he gave audience to Brahma. So like that, everybody got the opportunity, but the sages of Badrika Ashrama, wanted Lord to come there, and Lord could not go and give his association to the sages. So the Lord wanted, since he could not fulfill that desire of that sages, he wanted somebody who is in his equivalent capacity, both in form and in knowledge. And he thought Uddhava was the best person. From far, Uddhava appears to be like Lord Krishna. He's almost like same bodily color, and he almost, that's what gopis also got confused. When they saw first time Uddhava, they thought Krishna had come back. So in that way, in Akriti, he is like Lord Krishna. And in transcendental knowledge, since he was directly taught by Lord Krishna, he was of the highest caliber. So in both ways, Lord taught, he is my representative who can go and answer all their queries and gives the association what they are expecting. This was the primary intention. So Lord ordered him, in Bhagavatam it says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Gacho Uddhava Mayadishtaha. Mayadishtaha, I am ordering you, Gachaha, please go, Uddhava. Badri Yakyam Mama Ashramam. Where you should go? Mama Ashrama, that is my ashrama. Ashrama of Naranarayana. And Naranarayana are again Lord Krishna's expansions. So you go to my ashrama, Badrika ashrama. Tatra matpada tirdode. So there, purify yourself by touching snana, upasparshana, suchihi. Clean yourself, maintain that cleanliness by taking bath, by touching water, achimana, by the water that flows in that area. Ikshaya alakanandaya. Just by witnessing that alakananda, that water which has emanated from the lotus feet of the Lord, Ikshaya, viduta ashesha kalmashaha. It cleanses of all sinful activities from time immemorial. See, when we get in association of great people, we become purified just by their glance. So here Ganga is represented as the Lord's mercy into this material world. She emanated from the lotus feet of the Lord. So just by her glance, people become purified. Vasano Valkalani Angaha. Cover your body with tree bark. Vanya book. Eat available, whatever is available in the forest. Fruits, roots, flowers, some, dry leaves. This is how they maintain when they are in the forest. Sukha nishpruhaha. Be satisfied without any further desire. Be happy without any further desire. Nishpruhaha. Titikshuhu. Be tolerant. Dvandva matranam. From all dualities. Sushilaha. Of very good character. Samyata indriyaha. By regulated senses. Shantaha, one very peaceful. Samahita diyaha, one who is consciousness is peaceful and controlled and purified. Intelligence, proper controlled intelligence. Jnana vijnana samyutaha, equipped with both theoretical knowledge and practical knowledge, realization. Jnana vijnana samyutaha. Matto anushikshitam yattat, whatever I have explained unto you. Maya veshita vakchittaha, always with my consciousness, Maya veshita, and vak chittaha, your mind and your words are always thinking of me only. Mad dharma nirato bhava, always following the principles what I have laid down. Ativrajya gatistishro, mayeshashi tatparam. Means, in this way you will be able to cross the three modes of material nature. Ativrajya tishra gunaihi. Then mameshashi tatah param. And once you are done with this, you will come back to me. So basically, Lord wanted Uddhava to engage in furthermore austerities and penances, so that he wants to increase his desire to associate with the Lord. A same example we see in Narada Muni's character. In the first audience, when Narada Muni meditated, he had darshan of the Lord. But again, when he was further meditating, he could not get the Lord's audience. So after repeated failure endeavors, the Lord in Asharira Vanihi, means without physical form, with his sound only, had instructed Narada, in this lifetime, you will not be able to see me. But you engage in tapasya, increase your intensity towards me. So at the end, you will be able to come and associate with me. But the whole idea is to increase the desire. So when we hanker too much, that when we receive that subject, we will be able to appreciate it very nicely. When something comes free, we will not be able to value it properly. And the Lord wanted His representative to be in the world to communicate this knowledge. Because yad yad acharati shreshtaha tat tat eva tarojana. People in general follow shreshtaha, the best people. And Uddhava is as on par with the Lord as his representative. So he is a shreshtaha. So that all the sages could associate with him, to understand from him all the principles of devotion service and make their life perfect. This was the intention of Lord Krishna. And Uddhava, like when now Vidura was asking him, please be my spiritual master, explain to me all the topics what Lord had taught you. Uddhava said, no, I am very busy. I have to execute the order of my spiritual master. My guru but Lord Krishna had ordered me that immediately I have to go to Badrika Ashrama. So, please proceed to Maitreya, he will explain to you. And I have to I have to execute my duty. And he immediately proceeded towards Badrika Ashrama. So, the whole intention is execution of the order of the superior. So, for him the spiritual master is Lord Krishna himself. So, that is the prime importance given to it. So, the position of Lord Krishna we have to understand, because not many people will be able to relate to him. What is his capacity? Unless we know the capacity, how do we develop attraction for him? Unless we know that personality to a closer extent, we will not be able to relate to him in a spontaneous way. It will be more official relationship. So, in one place in Bhagavatam, Vasudeva glorifies Lord Krishna and Balarama. He says, Suti gruhe nanu jagada bhavan ajonau sanjanana iti anuyam nijadharma guptyai nana tanur gaganat vad vidadat jahasi ko veda bhumna urugaya vibhuti maya. So this is Vasudeva was recollecting when in the Suti gruhe, when Lord took birth, how was the Lord's appearance? He was a small boy first. What did he show first? He said he is a supreme Lord. Narayana, he showed four-armed form, Shankha Chakra Gadadhara. So, indeed, Nanu, Sutagrihe, while in the maternity room, Bhavan Jagadanau, you told us. Lord explained to Vasudeva and Devaki, this is not the first time I am your son. 3 times I have come already as your son. This is the 3rd time. First I had come as Prushni Garbha. At that time you are Prushni and Sutapa. 2nd time I had come as Vamana. At that time you are Kashyapa and Aditi. And this is your 3rd opportunity. You are Ajaha, although unborn, but Samjnana iti anuyigam nana tanur. But you have accepted in various ages and different bodies to become our son. Nija Dharma Guptyai, for what purpose? All these transcendental bodies are to protect your own principles of religion. So why do you accept repeatedly? To establish the principles of religion. And Jahasi, after accepting you quit that body. How? Gaganavat Vidadat, like clouds form and they disperse. So similarly, you accept a form and you quit that form. O Lord, who is always glorified, Urugaya, and Bhumnaha, who is all pervading, Ko Vedaha, who can understand about you? Vibhutihi Mayam, your deluding potency. Because Lord, in various ways, He tries to bewilder all of us. Basically, He is trying to test us. What is our level of capacity? So that we always know there is a higher perspective. There is an advancement opportunity for me at every stage. See, sometimes what happens, we hear many things But in practical realization, how do we implement? There was one devotee who was preaching in Amazon jungles. Devotees want to take adventure. They would like to go to preach to new areas, so that they want to spread this opportunity of Krishna consciousness to one and everyone. So while he was crossing some forest, he came across one big lion, a huge form, huge monster. So then immediately he remembered Lord Narasimha. Oh my Lord, you are the king of all the lions. So you know my heart. But please convince that lion, make him a devotee. So the lion started roaring. Oh, it found its food. So it took some 10 steps forward. Then he increased his intensity in prayer. He said, oh my Lord, you are very compassionate on your devotees. So please help me. Please make him a devotee. So nothing is happening. That lion is coming. Another 10 feet forward it came. So finally, with his full resort, at the last, he again prayed to the Lord. Oh my Lord, you are omnipotent. You know the nature of this creature. Please make him a devotee. And then he was thinking, when he was about to get lost, he saw a lion stopped, sat down peacefully, and started saying, Maha Prasade Govinda. You have to ask properly what you are trying to communicate. Or else what happens? It will be ulta. So similarly, the one devotee was doing book distribution. This is Christmas period. So at that time, people, to attract people, they used to dress themselves as Santa Claus. So he was they used to go to airports and wherever possible, people, because it's a vacation time. So near shopping malls, near airports or some places, the devotees used to go there and they used to approach people to try to do book distribution. So once one devotee was doing book distribution near some airport, one drunkard had come to him and he said, you people are fake. I know you are Hare Krishnas, dressed as Santa. You are not original. You are duplicate. And he took one gun and aimed at the devotee. The devotee was very cool. He opened Bhagavad Gita. In 3rd chapter, 13 sloka, it said, Santas, there is one word, Santaha. All devotees are Santaha, it says. And he showed that statement. It says, see, all devotees are Santas. So that person immediately became silent and went away. And this devotee went on to distribute more and more. See, whole idea is spontaneous understanding of the subjects and be practical. See, whatever we have learnt, it should be used into jnana, vijnana. Into practice you have to put. Or else what happens, it will be very difficult for us to communicate. And we should be very clear in our communication, or else it will be confusing. Like there was one feast arranged, and one special item is arranged in the corner. So there was one note kept, be careful, one piece per head, and Lord is watching you. So all the boys were coming and trying to take one piece only. At the last, one more item was there, second item which is very prominent. So everybody was supposed to take only one piece, that's also written there. So one more boy came and started writing on the page there. Lord is busy watching on the corner item, you can pick how many items you want here. See, like people will try to extract something different out of it. Whatever we do, people will try to bring fake meanings or different meanings out of it. But Shastra, we have to be very careful. Unless you bring a proper communication, proper channel, it will be very difficult for people to know what are we trying to communicate. So that's why Acharya's meanings are very important. Every Sanskrit word has 100 meanings. If one shloka, if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could explain in 61 varieties, Atma Rama shloka, how many shlokas are there in Bhagavatam? 18,000. And each, if you think, some 10 to 20 varieties are there in explanation. So how many lifetimes it will take to understand that one shloka itself to realize? It will take so many days. One big chapter itself is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And 3 times Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had elaborated on this verse, same verse. First to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, then to Sanatana Goswami, then third to Prakashananda Saraswati. So like that, if you want to understand Bhagavatam, that's what Prabhupada is saying. If somebody is interested in doing research on Bhagavatam, this is a great opportunity. Understand each word, understand from all angles of vision. Try to pursue the perspective of communication. The whole idea is here what Uddhava was committed to his duty. So one devotee had forwarded me one pastime. This was where a temple in an area called Tirukurangudi. Tirukurangudi. This is the place where Lord Chaitanya had visited. It's also known as Mahendragiri Parvata. Have you heard this name, Mahendragiri Parvata? Where did we hear? It's Parshurama's about. That's a big range of mountains. And this is the place where Hanuman had jumped from this hillock towards Lanka. So there was one deity by name Nambi Perumal. There are 3 deities in that area. One will be sleeping, one will be sitting, one will be standing. So the deity is known as Nambi Perumal. So this is the temple is very famous because Tirumangai Alvar, he had renovated Srirangam Gopuram. So at the end of the service, he was praying to Lord Ranganatha, so please give me liberation, I have done my duty. Then Lord said, no, your duty is not yet over. You go to Tirukurangudi and do renovation there also. Again, Lord had ordered, he had come here, he had executed his duty, he had built that temple, Gopuram. Then again he had requested the Lord Nambi Perumal, see, I have done my duty as instructed by you, please give me liberation. Then Lord said, no, you are not yet done yet. Go to North India, visit all the temples there and offer your respects to all the deities there and come. So on the order of the Lord, he visited all the temples, had darshan, paid his respects and came back. Then again, Lord was not giving him the opportunity of liberation. So on one Vaikuntha Ekadasi, Lord was brought on a palanquin to have darshan everywhere. So he, in an angry mood, so whatever you have done, whatever you have asked, I have done. So what is your problem in giving me liberation? Like that, in an angry mood, he starts questioning the Lord. So this is like that Pranaya Kalaha. The Lord is very satisfied and finally gives him an opportunity. And he goes back home, back to Godhead. So similarly, in Ramanujacharya also, when he visited the temple, he came with a huge number of followers there. So Lord was very surprised and asked him, when I came as Lord Krishna, when I was trying to preach, not many people accepted the philosophy. How you were successful in preaching this philosophy? What is that secret mantra which you are preaching? So Ramanujacharya said, so this is not a proper etiquette to question an Acharya. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashtena sevaya. So as soon as Acharya said this, Lord understood. He came as a small boy, Brahmana boy, arranged an asana, made the Lord sit there, made the Guru sit there. Then he went and in a submissive posture, he started inquiring from the Lord. Then Lord explained to him, in Kali Yuga, the secret of success is the holy name of the Lord, which is more powerful than you. And he initiated the Lord by saying, Om Namo Narayana. This is the mantra, what I chant. And because of this, and everybody are able to accept Krishna consciousness. And he recited that mantra into the ear of the Lord. When Ramanujacharya went to Badrikashrama, Lord initiated him. And here, Lord is initiated by the Ramanujacharya. That's why the deity is also known as Vaishnava Nambi, a servant of the Vaishnavas. So there was one situation when Ramanujacharya was visiting various temples and all. When he went to Trivandrum, he got delayed there. So to come back. So Lord said to Garuda, please immediately send devotee to the so-and-so temple, Tirukurangudi. So in the moment he closed his eyes and opened, he is there in Tirukurangudi. And once some thieves were attacking Ramanujacharya, the Lord placed him on top of a hill which is surrounded by full river, so that he can be protected. Like that, many as pastimes are there. This temple is associated with that whole area. We can see many pastime places. And this is the temple where Nammalvar parents had done tapasya. And in a nearby place only Nammalvar took birth. So in that way, that whole area is full of divine pastimes. So because he is from a lower background, he could not enter the temple. he used to stand behind Dvajastamba and he used to sing, chant and dance. So because of his sincere singing and chanting, Lord requested Dvajastamba, see, you are standing in between me. I am not able to fully see the mood and the feelings of the devotee. Please move aside. So we see generally the Dvajastamba will be exactly facing the deity. If you go to the temple, Dvajastamba will be little left side. Because Dvajastamba was coming obstructing the devotee, the Lord said Dvajastamba to move and Dvajastamba moved aside. And Lord was able to have darshan. So this devotee was so simple. Every day he used to come for the Shaina Arati and he used to sing in one specific raga so that Lord could sleep. And after the Lord was given for rest and he used to go back to his place. On one Ekadasi, he wanted to do a fasting. Whole day he wanted to spend in the temple, sing for the Lord, and he wanted to break his fast in the next Dwadashi morning. So while he is walking from his house towards the temple, in one particular forest area, he was confronted by one Brahma Rakshasa. So this person who has become Brahma Rakshasa in his previous life was a born Brahmana. But because of bad association and bad habits, he was trying to execute some function for the Lord. But because of his bad habits, he had not executed it properly. And he had failed in the process. So he became a Brahma Rakshasa. So there he was confronting and he said, today you have come and you are my meal. I am supposed to devour you immediately. This devotee started requesting, give me one day opportunity. I will go. This is my last time. I will pray to the Lord and finish and come back. Tomorrow morning you can eat me. Then that Brahma Rakshasa started questioning him. Many people will say they will go and come back. They will never come back. We know this is the standard principle. But I don't want to believe you. This person started saying, no, I am a very religious person. I would like to give commitment to the word whatever I have given. No, how do I believe you? Then he explained 18 different commitments. What a person, if he fails in it, what will happen to him? That papa. He said, if I do not return as per my promise, let me get the sin of a man who is a liar. Let me get the sin of a person who commits adultery if I don't return. While eating in the company of a person, if a man differentiates in menu, you are giving him the best quality and you are giving me low quality, he will get a greater sin. Let me get that sin if I don't return. If a man donates a piece of earth to a Brahmana and takes it back after some time, he will certainly accrue some sin. So let me get that sin. If a man enjoys the company of a woman during her youthful age and subsequently rejects her when she is old, let me get that sin. Having performed tarpanam, means oblations, that what do you say? When somebody passes away, we do that. Pindadan, that 1 year Pindadan. On a Amavasya day and that engage in relationship with your wife that same day, let me get that same sin. Having dined delicious foods in a house and started criticizing that owner who has fed me, let me get that sin. A man takes a solemn promise that he would give away his young daughter in a marriage to a youth, but later breaks his promise, let me get that sin. A man is prohibited from eating without taking bath on Shashti, Ashtami, Chaturdashi and Amavasya. If he breaks that, let me get that sin. A man promises to donate something to another man, but he can't keep his word, let me get that sin. If a person tries to allure the wife of a friend, then let me get that sin. If a person afflicted by lust enjoys the company of his superiors, let me get that sin. A man marries two girls without being impartial to both of them. If he is giving opportunity to one and he is giving opportunity to less opportunity to other, if he is differentiating, let me get that sin. If a man divorces his wife who is very chaste and has no one to care for her, let me get that sin. If a man causes obstruction to the cattle that are afflicted very much by thirst to drinking water, let me get that sin. Killing a Brahmana, drinking liquor, stealing gold, breaking a vow, or heinous crimes. So let me get that sin. If somebody worship only for other deities and not Lord Krishna, then let me get that sin. And finally he said, Yastu Narayanam Devam Brahmarudradi Devatai Samatvenaiva Viksheta Sapashandi Bhavedruva. If he equates Narayana to any other demigods, that is the highest sin which can never be counteracted. There is no opportunity. For other sins there is prayaschitta. For this sin, if you chant while chanting the holy name, if you are trying to derogate the holy name, there is no chance of recovery from that sin. So when he quoted this, the Brahma Rakshasa became, yes, this sin can never be counteracted. So I believe in you, you go and come back to me. So this devotee went, prayed to his heart's content to the Lord, sang various songs, then came back in the next day morning. While he was coming back, Lord came as an old man and asked him, where are you going? This forest path is not good. There is a Brahma Rakshasa, he will eat. No, he explained him the entire story and he said, no, I have given a word and I have to maintain my word. Lord said, you can maintain your, first if you are good, if you are surviving, then you can maintain by something else. This is not the way. But devotee was very adamant. He said, I have given a word means I have to execute that word. So I cannot go on back by breaking my promise. So Lord also became very happy and blessed him to be successful in his endeavor. So when he went, the Lord convinced the Brahma Rakshasa to forgive him. He said, how long I have been surviving here and eating people? You give me moksha. He said, I can't do anything. Lord only can give you moksha. Then there was some discussion between that Brahma Rakshasa and he, how he can spare some punya, what he had received by doing that Ekadashi Vrata. Then he said, no, I can't do anything. Finally he said, please sing that song what you have sung for the Lord. So that I will also be very happy in hearing that song and I will become liberated. When he sang the song, then this Brahma Rakshasa became liberated. An aerial airplane came from the spiritual world, took him back home, back to Godhead. By the association, Swalpam apyasya dharmasya, a little endeavor, little association. What do we say? Lavamatra sadhu sangha sarva siddhi hoy. A momentary association with the devotee, even Brahma Rakshasa got liberated. So what to speak of, we got the opportunity of association with Prabhupada. So we have to utilize this opportunity and make our life successful. So duty of the disciple is execute the superior's order. So they are very committed in that execution. If there are any obstacles also, they did not bother for it. They are more presented towards that finishing the duty what was ordained to them. So this is what Uddhava was doing. He was more inclined to execute the mission of the Lord. So we also, following in their footsteps, understanding the character of the acharyas and mood of and the instructions, we should try to execute what we are supposed to do in a proper way. So I'll stop here. Any questions and doubts? Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam.
హరే కృష్ణ గోల్డెన్ టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణ వాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణవాణి మొబైల్ యాప్ నేడే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. మరిన్ని వివరాల కోసం కాల్ చేయండి 9133107700.